Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the full job Fiesta for TNV Small Critter Rescue. Last episode we got our final job, the Dancer job, and we're going to see it in action here. As we head back to the Meteor and Tycoon. This is where Sid admitted returning that adamantium. They said it started going unstable, so they had to return it to where they found it. Well, where we found it, back here in Galuf's Meteor. Galuf is not in our party right now because he went with his granddaughter Kara back to his world. And our party, remaining party members, TNV, Faris, and Lenna, are hoping that they could maybe find some way to get to Galuf's world. So here's basically tell why they're here. Matt even started emitting some strange energy, so we thought he'd put it back to where it came from. And when they put it back, it starts giving off like some radiation or magic. The ground is sucking energy away from the adamantium. Yeah, I wonder if we use this to restore power to the meteor, couldn't we go to Galuf's world? Now there's an idea. What is this? Yeah, Sid don't know about Galuf's world. I haven't told him. Let's see. This piece of adamantium is too small to restore all the power. But if we use the power of the other three meteors as well, we could get to Galuf's world. So yeah, the other three meteors are the one by the ruined city that Kara came in, then the Wars meteorite, and then the Conic meteorite. Now, each of them, when we go to them, there's going to be a little boss battle there. So, we're going to make a save just to be safe, because some of the boss battles can be a little tricky. So we're going to head to the Kara's meteorite by the ruined city first. And then we'll make our way then to Karnak, and then back to finish up with the Wars meteor. So there, this one's real quick, close by. Boss can be a little tough, so like I said, we're going to make a save before each of these meteorite fights. It's a good thing we did, because I ended up losing this fight. Right here, we'll come right back. So, head on in, and taking a long time. You gotta go in and check on them. So, a little cutscene happens at each of these little things. So, yeah, this one, they don't come out. And I'm going to put the Dancer in the back row just because Lenna has the Geomancer skill. And that's going to be good for this battle in this meteorite. Because this meteorite battle is taking place inside the meteorite. So will the next one, but the final one won't. So we got the Chimera Brain here. It's weak, not weak to anything, but that does absorb ice. So I'll just use regular attacks with TNV. Then it will just use the Geomancer skills. If we had her in the front row, we can have her do the dance and hope that she gets the sword dance. I said that will do about 800 to 900 damage, but there's only a 25% chance of that happening. The other dances, one will just drain some hit points, which would be okay. Because this guy hits pretty hard. He uses a bunch of multi-targeting spells. The Tempting Tango would basically do nothing because he's a boss. It wouldn't confuse him. And then the one that absorbs the MP, that really wouldn't help too much either. So now what does help is when TNV manages to get that old spell to work on that Chimera Brain. Getting Stalactite also helps a good bit. So, that's a good thing that, TNV has that White Magic as a secondary ability. He can help Faris here heal up. Now, Chimera Brain's almost dead, but I want to heal everyone else up, so I can spend a turn then on getting Lenna back to her feet. Because you don't really want to miss out on the AP points, the ability points. Because bosses tend to give a lot of ability points. So that obviously will help us with our mastering our job. So make sure we get all the camp, everyone alive, because they don't gain the ability points if they're knocked out in the battle. So this guy's really spamming that Aqua Lake. That's that spell we could have learned from the Palace Harpers from the Dome Desert Chimera. If you would have learned that earlier, that would be really good, because that can one-shot that Sandworm boss. But we don't have the Blue Mage, but it's a good spell to learn. If you do have a Blue Mage, pretty much guaranteed to learn it there, because that guy likes to spam it. And 1 down, 2 to go. Now, it's not fair that Sid and Mid get to ride the Black Chocobo and land it at places where there's no forests. So, totally not fair. Remember, we couldn't get to this area when we had the Black Chocobo. We had to cross the the desert using the Sandworm's body, because there's no forest here, but they can land the Black Chocobo here. So, yeah, not fair. So now this boss we got coming up is going to be another summon that we're going to get. It's going to be the Titan summon, the Oath summon. Luckily we're strong enough that we can survive. It has a final attack. Once you deplete its final hit point, its last hit points, it does an Earthquake attack. There's going to be several enemies that do that. They'll have a last ditch attack. But if you're level 20 or above, you should have enough hit points to survive it. If you're not above level 20, if you have you can go to the North Mountain and you can try to charm with a Beastmaster, one of the Gale Cats, and they can use the float ability on you. Later on in the game, you can actually get the float spell, but it's a time magic spell and you don't have access to it right now. I bet you're going to have to just level grind to above level 20 or get that float spell on you. So, once again, we're inside the meteorite, so we're hoping for that stalactite to happen, because that takes off a good chunk of hit points, like 500 to 600 hit points. He has less hit points than the Brain Chimera that we just fought, but the Chimera Brain, and he doesn't hit as hard. But like I said, the main thing that this guy does is he counters with that final attack. So once again, you don't want your characters to be knocked out at the end of the battle, so the save is mainly for hoping that everyone survives, and you'll see that I survived just by the skin of my teeth. With Lenna, barely survives, but she survives, so I don't have to refight the battle. If she would have been knocked out, I probably would have reset and just restarted it from the save point out there, so that she would get all this ability points. Survived by 2 hit points. Yay! And we get a high potion. Yeah, potions ain't going to be really good at restoring hit points, at least in battle, because they only restore 50 hit points, and as you can see, we're in like the 500, 600, 700 range. So it would be better once we get those high potions, but they're not available until we get to Galuf's World. And now we're on to the last meteor. So it doesn't matter which order you do these in. I think went by like hardest to easiest. Now this boss can be tricky if you don't have multi-targeting spells, which I don't have. But there is one way that I can take care of these guys. I am lucky that I have a white mage that has the mute spell, and I'm also lucky that I can equip the Mage Master knife on both TNV and on Lenna, because that can potentially cast the mute spell. And that's the big gimmick about this boss coming up. You're going to notice this boss going to have less hit points than the Titan and the Chimera Brain, but there's going to be 6 of them, and their gimmick is that when you defeat one, they will, as their final attack, they'll cast Life 2, and that'll revive any of the ones that are already defeated. So to take care of these guys, basically I'm going to have TNV use the mute ability on his sword. I'm gonna have Faris try to mute them with the knife, mute them with the spell, and Lenna can try to mute them with the mute knife. Now, if they blow up, well, that's their final attack, so they can use their attack. But if you defeat them with damage, regular damage, like I said, they will cast the Life 2 spell. So say we take out that one on the bottom there right now. The two on the top, they're both muted, so they can't cast Life 2. If we would take out the one on the bottom now, what would happen is he would cast Life 2, and those three that blew up already, they would all return. So basically I said you have to defeat them all at the same time, or you have to mute them and then defeat them once they're muted. Now, I wasn't able to get mute on the one on the bottom there with the sword, so I'm going to have to wait to attack that one with, until I mute it with the white magic spell, because I don't want to risk hitting it. So as you can see, when I finally defeated it, I tried to cast Life 2 on all its partners that were defeated. That would have brought 5 of them back, but it was muted, so it's ineffective. Now that we got all the adamantium, it is creating like a portal to Galuf's world. It showed up on our map there, so we just have to fly there, and that will take us to Galuf's world. So before you go there, if there's anything you missed in this world, like that elf cape in War's Castle, the basement, or the Ifrit summon, because if you don't get the, not the Ifrit summon, the Ramush summon, if you don't get the Ramush summon, now you're going to have to wait until the final dungeon in the game for it to become available. So, you don't want to miss out on it. Like I said, you'll be able to get it by the end of the game. By then, you'll have so much better options that not necessary to have it. But like I said, if you're going for 100% completion, you want to be able to get that, so get it while you're able to use it. So this is where the magic portal is, and we all say our goodbyes to the Faris says goodbye to the pirate crew, and TNV says goodbye to his Chocobo Boko. And just like Gareth and Galuf, we're going to turn into like shooting stars and be teleported into the sky and over to Galuf's world. We've seen in previous Final Fantasies that luckily we don't take falling damage, which is good because we're going to fall a long way from the sky all the way down into this island here. Galuf's world looks a lot more gloomy than, I'll just call it TNV's world, the original world that we're in. So, there's going to be some new land masses here, new tougher enemies, and more importantly, Exdeath's castle. This is Exdeath's home world. We're actually going to get to Exdeath's castle not long after this, so it's weird. It's basically like the first dungeon we go to, and it's also the last dungeon we're going to go to in this world. So on this island here, you wonder what can I do? Well, you can walk around and fight these enemies. The only enemies you find on this island are these Peo enemies, and basically they drop a tent if you defeat them. Unfortunately, I tempting Tangle that one and charmed it, and as it's charmed, when it was charmed, it decides to run away, so I don't get any treasure. But they put this enemy on here so that you can get a tent, because these guys have a guaranteed 100% drop rate of a tent, and if you just stand still for a while, you're going to get a cutscene, and basically Lenna's going to be like, hey, I'm tired, let's rest in a tent. And that's your clue to use a tent. And then when you use a tent, that advances the plot of the game. So there we go, we take out the PAL, and you'll see we're going to get the tent there. See, this is a good place to stock up on tents if you want. But tents are pretty cheap, and you haven't been using them all that often. So I'm just going to sit here, do nothing, and eventually, like I said, we'll get that cutscene that lets you know what you need to do. Yep, comes in here, pops up. I'm getting tired. Let's rest in a tent, TNV. I want to rest. Make sure they put tent in the quotes there so you know. Use a tent, not a cabin. So we use our tent here. And then like most times we just go to bed and wake up, we're going to go in this cutscene here. So we're not going to get a good night's sleep here. Because during this cutscene, well, we'll see what happens in just a second. Then there's one thing that's been keeping me wondering. Why did you go through such danger to save the hero up on the North Mountain? Remember she walked through the poison plants? And then she actually ate some of the Hiryu grass that was poisonous to humans. Well, the Hiryu reminds Lenna of their mother. Perhaps don't really remember her mother all that well. Like Luke and Leia in Star Wars. And we get these monsters appear. And one appears and abducts Faris and Lenna. And the new one comes out to have a one-on-one battle here with TNV. Now, you can either defeat this enemy, and if you defeat this enemy, which I will do here, you'll get a treasure chest, and open up the treasure chest, and that like gasses you, and then you get captured anyway. If you lose this battle, you won't get that scene with the treasure chest. The abductor will just take you away. So this is actually one of the few battles in the game where you can actually like lose, and it won't give you a game over. So this guy, not too hard. The only thing that can really be scary, you'll notice that I'm waiting to attack him. I'm doing that because one of the attacks he can use is Hurricane, and Hurricane reduces you to single-digit hit points. So that's basically how you'd lose this battle. You basically hit with the Hurricane, wouldn't heal in time, and then he'd attack you again, knock you out. But I was careful, healed up, and so I get to see this cutscene where I get poisoned by this gas trap. It's gonna knock us out, and it's gonna end us up in Exdeath's dungeon. And that's where we'll end up in the next episode, but before we do that, I will show off what happens if you lose the battle. So, both times, whether you win or lose, you'll end up in the dungeon. So, we'll see that in the next episode. Take care, have a good one, see you around. Bye!